What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about again what's going on in S&P 500, overall state of the market, triple Qs, IWM, and different sort of setups that I see going into next week. So if you make sure you want to stay up to market updates when it's on the crypto market, the stock market, make sure you follow this video. We got a lot more videos like this coming out very soon, so you do not want to miss any of those. Also leave a like, subscribe down below, and leave a comment. Let me know what's up. Let me know what you think the state of the market is. And let's pretty much go over what happened last week. Last week's video we talked about looking very bearish, and we had pretty much this 3 candles in a row, and we dumped all the way up to 410. So we had a good reason to be bearish, but we had this massive just gap down here from 420 to 410. Such a huge overextension that caused this really strong rip back up, which that came with a mix of long-term investors adding to long-term position, and also a lot of puts being sold, a lot of short positions being closed after being so much in the money. If you had started shorting for orders from 456, it's just a pretty massive move down even if you just shorted from the day before. So we saw a massive rip back up, as you guys can see. The volume being also really strong on this first day. Like I said, a lot of this volume did come from a lot of close position on the bear side. So for me, we're not in the works of being near done yet. I think being very bullish just yet. I mean, I wouldn't short this candle right here. This candle is just so strong up, you wouldn't want to short this. I do expect this, unless we have some kind of news until tomorrow. I do expect this to gap up and kind of have a bit more continuation, very similar to how we saw here. This is really strong, 3 candles up here, and then slowly faded. Got rejected right here on the 100 MA, and then double topped and came down. So the rest of the market is still kind of shaky. I see a lot of people flip into bullish already. I wouldn't say that just yet. I mean, if we literally just go if you look at December, right, or sorry, January, beginning of January, so everything from pretty much this on is the new year. What do you see here? High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're clearly in a downtrend, and for me there's no point on fighting the trend. Just follow the trend. Of course, you're gonna look at your risk reward. For me here, there's no good risk reward to short or long. The short place was up here and down here if you did short with us. So for us, we're kind of in a no man's zone. I wouldn't be too bullish and nor too bearish. Yeah, we kind of see on next week. First few days of the week are gonna play out. We did have here the MA50 come down and cross below the 100. The 100 still pointing up. So if we get those both to turn down, the momentum will really be switching. And really the main key we really have to watch out for, if we take out this high right here and we did set a new higher high, that might look a lot much better, or causing a strong reversal. Of course, we do have a lot of news in the market, so those are going to be playing factors in the coming weeks. With the Ukraine Russia thing, we're going to see how things play out there. But like I said, we're still in this pretty much downtrend channel here from back in November of last year. So until we really break out above this, break this high here and push above, there's really not too much to say we're in the clear just yet. Also, we do have this resistance up here of this, this older term support at top of that channel, right, that we had overshot last year. So we could see a move, up here. We could see a move up here just to get rejected, and some more downside. So but let's see, we're gonna have to see things play out next week. So far I'm not feeling neither bullish or bearish, kind of somewhere in the middle. So if we also take a look at the VIX, we see that the VIX pretty much been setting higher highs and higher lows as well. We kind of say here double top almost here on this higher high. So we're going to see if that kind of comes down, but we're still we're 27.57, definitely not out of the woods. Really anything over 25 is just not very safe to trade. We can pretty much, this zone here is a very high volatility kind of risk off type of trading. We pretty much broke out from this long downtrend here, and ever since then the market has been more shaky and shaky. To see the VIX, to see the market super bullish, we really would have to be below the 20 on the VIX, and we're still a long way from there. So as long as we're still in this blue zone, for me it is still a risk off type of trading. So be a lot more careful. Smaller positions, high volatility type of environments, really imagine like really high waves. You're trying to surf really high waves. That just makes it more difficult, right? If you're a beginner, even extra more difficult, right? So if you're a beginner, really take this time to learn and take your time with it. Don't take a lot of unnecessary risks because this might really buy you in the behind. It's not like last year or the year before. We really had the smooth sailing, when the VIX was just under pretty much 25 zone here, in the 15s, 14s, even if you go back here in the 10s, 9s, this is just really, really easy trading, but now it's become, a lot more difficult. So I'm gonna just warn everybody. Now let's take a look at IWM. IWM, pretty much we double bottom here on 188. We also had a high demand zone here that they got out, and now we're pushing back up. But again, with IWM, very similar to the SPY, just not feeling very bullish just yet on it. Of course, they had this flag here they broke down from. Now it's trying to recover, kind of like faking this breakdown right here. We gotta see if tomorrow and early next week if it gets rejected off this bear flag that has set up, or it does push up. And then even if we do push up, we just have so much resistance up here around this 210 to 270 to 210 range that we pretty much were in this channel for a whole year. It's going to be so hard to break through. So if we do push higher, I will try to look for a short here and push it back down, just like how we shorted it from up here again. But if we do break through, then might be very bullish, but like I said, it looks very, very difficult for us to really break that. And as well, the MAs, they're all like flipping down on each other, just making it so much more bearish look. So we do gotta be very careful with the IWM. And the IWM is a lot of those mid to growth cap stocks that been getting pretty much destroyed recently. So just be careful because the MA50 crossed below the 200, 100 crossed below the 200, and now they're all kind of looking for this downtrend. Like I say, it does look like it push to 207, and that kind of makes sense because it has both the MA50 and the strong resistance zone here. That'd be a great time to short, with the stop loss pretty much right above 212, and it's kind of like the play I'm looking for. If not, we'll depending on next week, we can see if it does get rejected here and falls back down, or it does push back in this little bear flag that had set up. Next up, the triple Q. Triple Q again looking a little more bearish than the SPY. The SPY looking a little better than kind of everything else. Triple Q did fall from this pretty much bear flag here as well, like double topped, came down, did bounce where. If you did watch our last week's video, I told you guys we get a stronger reaction if we got back on this top of this channel here, this top of the channel from the 2009 bull run, that we overshot thanks to like the Feds printing so much money. But we did get a huge reaction. So if you shorted with us, really good job. We pretty much killed the short, recovered up here, bounced back up. We're looking really good. I was bearish in the latest video, but flipped to bullish real quickly once we had that sell off so massively. We sold off so quick in 2 days. That was kind of crazy. Well, I guess 3 days here because we really fell under back here. And like I said, this was just such a strong area of support that it was predicted for us to fall, even though we did kind of fake out this breakdown from the head and shoulder pattern. Same with the SPY, to kind of fake out some of the head and shoulder pattern. But we'll get to see again now. Looking at the triple Q, as you can see, has MA50 cross down to 100. Now looking to cross down to 100 might look very bearish. Still got so much to prove, really. Like, even if he wants to push back up, it's got all the MAs to get through. It's got this top resistance to get through. It's got this channel to get through. It's just so much to prove right now that like I have a hard time finding, being very bullish on it. It could be bullish, just the risk reward isn't really there, but neither is the risk reward to short right now, because you don't just want to short in the middle of like this super strong candle right here. We do have some resistance. If you get my was on the line, we do have some resistance here at 350. That'll be like the next spot that you might look for a short or a long position, and if it really gets above that, it might be very strong. 350 here, which we had used as support multiple times. So that'd be the big number that I'm looking at for triple to get above. And of course, it has the MAs, and again, it's just like the SPY, setting lower lows and lower highs pretty much the whole year. So it just got so much to prove. Next up, let's take a look at the 30-year Treasury bond. As if you guys know, if the 30-year Treasury bond really rips up, it's not a big rate for equities. And we see we pretty much have a lot of like supply all the way up here. So if we were to break through this level, and it sure looks like he wants to. I'll be honest with you guys, this is looking like what the 10-year was looking like not too long ago. Kind of a mix of somewhat of an inverse and shoulder, or you could call this somewhat of a cup and handle here with the handle forming up here. Some kind of setup like this, but it's definitely looking like it wants higher highs, so I'm be really scared leading into March, as we know that the Feds do plan to make a decision with interest rates, and we'll see how much they want to really raise them. We'll see in March, but leading up to it, we could see somewhat of a rip up, and if it does rip up and rip up quickly, could be very bad for the equities. If we go back and we'll look at the TNX, which is the 10-year treasury, we saw that setup kind of happen here. Kind of looking like the same really, with this some of whatever cup and handle or something like that, and pretty much had massive supply and broke out of it. Now kind of having a bit of a pullback here too. If you guys can see here, see the supply very similar to how the 30 year is looking now, and we've been talking about the 10-year for quite some time now, and we've been pretty spot on. We were expecting kind of a little breakdown here on it last week, which we kind of saw, especially towards the end of the week. But if we zoom in on the weekly here, it did kind of fell out, but picked right back up inside of it. So we're really keeping an eye on the 30-year, the 10-year as well. So like I said, we do we'll have to see. This next week will be a very, very key week to see is this a bear market rally type of push from the SPY and triple Q, or if we're going back to being bullish. These next week will be very, very key. Next up, let's talk about some oil. I've been bullish in oil for some time now, but now we're really seeing let me zoom out here. I talked about this in the chat room as well. But we're really seeing here, I had this kind of broadening wedge here on oil, and we saw this pretty much fake out here. And that's very, very telling when you see, and it's very telling here when you see something trying to break out and then quickly wick back down, and this really nasty, ugly candle here in the weekly time frame. And this pretty much trying to catch that liquidity up here, catch those, bulls that thought were going to break out and bring it back down. So oil for sure for me is kind of looking like it wants to have a pullback. This is a U.S. oil, the crude oil, and when oil tends to kind of fall, it pretty much kind of like the market falls with it as well, as you guys can see here and here, and now potentially here. That's why I have this question mark here. Is this really a fake out? We'll see next week. Sure is looking like it, but we'll have to keep a close eye on it. Not only oil, most of the commodities really are looking like they wanna pull back after being so strong. Now if you go look at corn same, this really ugly, nasty weekly candle here. I mean, look at this pretty much was imagine this being a full green candle or whatever, and just retracing the whole move down. Very, very bearish signal. Not saying that corn is bearish overall, and the chart looks still pretty good. Did have kind of a double top here, but for sure kind of the sign that it looks like it's wanting to pull back. And that could be around this $600 level, maybe this $590 level. We'll have to see, but most commodities do look like they want to go down. Not only corn, but if we take a look even at gold, it's something I've been bullish on for a while. Spoke to you guys about it. Might be giving us a nice dip to get back in or add more to our position, as you can see, which is really massive breakout here on gold on the weekly, which we took pretty much full advantage of. We really got in right before the strong breakout. We rode it all the way up, but now kind of looking like a blow off type of candle into this supply range, came back down, found some support in it, but definitely looks like it wants to cool off. And it really, I really like to, if it wants to come down and kind of retest this breakout level, I'll definitely be a buyer, a lot more adding onto the gold position. Something does not, still looking pretty strong. XLE, still looking quite strong. There's all a lot of oil in it as well, a lot of energy, but that is still looking pretty strong. We'll like this a nice dip all the way to 62 to 65 would be nice, but we'll see if we get that. Next up, we'll look at the mining ETFs. Mining ETFs just was looking so strong, and really they gave us that entry that I was looking for. If you watched last week's video on the daily time frame, I told you guys I'd be buying here, which we did. It came down to test, and then strong bullish candle. This just looks like it wants to go higher. I'll be honest, probably room to 60. But it's some of the plays that I'm looking for. Another play I'm pretty interesting that I'm looking at is PayPal. PayPal pretty much like broke down from a massive downtrend here. Now broke through on this small like downtrend here on the daily with a strong bullish candle. It did close on the strong resistance here, so we're looking for a rejection here, or if we do break above an entry back above this 111 level to look for this gap fill here. And on this, the support here goes all the way back. If we zoom it out on the weekly time frame, we see the support going back all the way to 2016, pretty much since IPO dates. Right, and we broke out of it now, pretty much in a bear market. PayPal for sure, since down about 70%, its all-time highs. But even during a bear market, you could have a bear market rally, and bear market rallies are just almost as strong as bull markets, because you'll see these rallies, these so powerful rallies, because you have a lot of shorts covering the positions, longs adding for various reasons. So either we get a rejection here, or we get to breakout, retest, and then boom, back up. So these are some of the places I'm looking for. Still feeling very not confident about the market. In the comments down below what you're thinking. For me, we're still looking weak. We might still see a couple green days, but for me, really need to break this downtrend to turn very bullish again. In the comments below, what do you think? If you want to learn more about stock market, crypto market, hit the links below. Come trade with me every single day live. We've been just killing the market. Everybody's making tons of money in our chat room. Feel free to join it. And as always, see you in the next video. Peace.